let's talk about some of my favorite roles. Dumb. Stupid. Those roles are some of the most fun that you will ever have playing, and I know as an audience member, they're some of my favorite to watch. When I was at the beginning of my career, I got to audition for those roles all the time, and I remember I fought it. I really wanted people to think of me as very intelligent, and I wanted only these very intelligent roles, and wow, did I miss out on playing some. I played some dumb people, but I missed out on the bulk of them. So naive is one way of approaching those characters that they just don't understand, and you're going to find those more in dramas or 1 hours, something where it's not comedic necessarily, but where somebody's just confused, hasn't been exposed to those things, just truly doesn't understand, and usually wants to. Is the kind of the one that doesn't quite understand what's happening to them. Gullible, naive. Sometimes as an adult, you know, you can think about yourself at 5. Oh, all those things that you didn't know when you were at 5, oh, those things that you believed when you got a little older and discovered those weren't true. And around the same vein of those kind of roles is when you think about people who aren't human necessarily, or people in a completely different universe. An alien, Daryl Hannah in Splash, she's a mermaid who's become human, but she just doesn't understand the world of, wow, all of my references are so old, I'll try to think of something a little more modern, but where you just don't understand what's happening. There's been quite a few, usually a little more comic, but with big comedies, a lot of times, especially for men, but there's women too, it's you know it all. The stupid people act like know-it-alls, they're proud of themselves, they're full of themselves. Ron Burgundy. Was there anything that Ron Burgundy needed to learn? No, he knew it all. Same with another Will Ferrell character, Ricky Bobby in Talladega Nights. These characters, you'll find them a lot in sitcoms, really, really full of themselves, very funny. And then sitcoms, for women, usually it's the very pretty girl who just really doesn't understand what's happening. And people have kind of given her a pass through life because the way she looks. And so she's never learned to develop any street savvy at all, and people take advantage of her. But they're usually very, very sweet characters. Modern Family, Haley, and I'm trying to find something a little more up to date. So you can't judge your character. You can't, which is the mistake that I made at the beginning of my career. You've got to love these people. They just haven't been exposed to the same things you and I have been exposed to. If you never had a TV or you never had the internet and somebody from California, Southern California, got dropped into the snow, you wouldn't know what was happening. You'd seem stupid. So approaching your characters with love, warmth, compassion, and on another note, sometimes characters that are high, that can oftentimes come across as stupid. No judgment, you just do your own thing. But they're like, it's a little slower than somebody else might be. The joke has happened and then it's like, right, they're just a little slower than everybody else. The person who's high, they see things in a different way. They're appreciating things that maybe the rest of us don't notice. And you know, I'll do another video on it, but I just want to reiterate, you don't get high to play high or drunk to play drunk, and you don't have to be stupid to play stupid. As a matter of fact, the smarter you are, kind of the better it is. So, what are some of your favorite dumb roles? I mean, I have a lot that are really old, so maybe you people have more recent references, but I'll give you one. One of my grandfather's films, it's an old one, see, my references are old, called The Lady Eve. And Henry Fonda plays a very isolated, just naive guy that Barbara Stanwyck takes advantage of. He's very bright, but he's not very worldly, and just the idea of a girl makes him so nervous. Somebody else who's fantastic at it is Jennifer Coolidge in Legally Blonde, even her character in White Lotus. She's just really naive. And something that she and a lot of other of our especially great female comedians who play dumb is maybe a pitch change in their voice. Sometimes they're really breathy. Sometimes they sound like a little girl. It's this kind of, it plays into this idea of being young, not very sophisticated. You don't, for a female, you don't really see a lot of characters who are playing somebody very naive with a deep baritone voice. But if it's comedy, and there's trying to find more modern ones, but we've got Judy Holliday in Born Yesterday, Mira Sorvino in her Oscar-winning role, those sort of fun, ditzy girls. Jennifer Tilly used to play them in the day. So anyway, a little bit of pitch change, a little bit of stupidity, and a naivete. And they usually have big hearts. Usually the stupid people aren't mean, at least the girls. I might have to take that back. Let me think about that some more. Ruthless people, I think, they're kind of mean, kind of dumb. So let me know if there's movies, roles, things that you want to share with us that you think are great examples, maybe some that aren't such great examples, and anything that you want me to cover in a future video. I will see you next week. Comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend. The faces he's making are fantastic.